Welcome back to the Triple SC, everybody. Hanging out here today, just enjoying the view, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that looks pretty.
It does indeed. So, in
Fresh TV. Look at that.
in the life of video games, my buddy here has upgraded to the PlayStation Pro, and so we're enjoying the luxury of that quality, that enhancement quality.
Look how hairy his hands are.
I'll admit, maybe there is a difference. I was skeptical at first.
I mean, I'm digging it, to be perfectly honest with you. Here's the story. Okay, so we talked uh,
Resident Evil Requiem,
Resident Evil Requiem, how that was supposed to be a sort of launch title for the upscaler system
right?
that the is on the Pro.
Is the game really good though? Because it's highly rated right now.
It's it
It's the
it's like
best
the most
rated one.
successful Resident Evil game out there.
It tied Expedition 33 for user rating.
And so far it's fun. But I'm stuck because I'm not good at the game. So I'm kind of stuck
Right.
at where I'm at. I'm not really sure
Maneuver past that.
how to get around the things I'm stuck on. and and I almost don't want to investigate it and like watch let's play videos on YouTube because I don't want to spoil myself on the game.
Yeah.
Like just get through these little hallways and then it's like immediately shut the video back off because I don't want any spoilers.
Yeah.
Like I am maintaining a as much spoiler free zone as possible. Like stay away from me with your
Your information,
with your information.
your
I
videos.
don't want to know. Golly, look at that.
It was impressive.
I mean, I was not.
I'd really love to see it at 120 frames.
I'd have to move it to the other TV.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this gets close to 120, but I don't think it's actually a 120 TV,
Right.
and that's not a problem.
But back to the Pro. I
You know,
distracted you from Resident Evil. As you were saying, you were telling the story of how it came about.
well, I think that was supposed to be a launch title for this, and we'll talk about this too. But it's like, all right, well, not only Resident Evil because you got that for me for the Xbox, and I'm not gonna go get it on
I was really curious if you were going to end
PlayStation
up getting it to see what it was like.
just to see what it was like. I've got a lot of other games that
You can do the same thing with.
I could do the same thing with, and I already have them on the PlayStation. Like Hogwarts Legacy was one of the Pro enhanced games, and
Got you.
Spider-Man 2 whenever I get that far because I made the faux pas of getting it and not moving my save out because I was in a kind of a crunch yesterday evening to get all this worked out, and it was just one of those things that I didn't think of. It's like, man, I was over at the video store. I was making a social call, and you and I had our conversation. I was like, well, I want to get this done, and I want to get it done now
Right.
because I'm already
Itching for it.
I'm already itchy.
Right.
Like, and I don't want to go down that segue. We'll do that after I finish. But so I went, because it was like, all right, well, I'm going to trade in the one I've got, and I've had it for 6 years, and you remember the story because you were basically there during all the turmoil it took me to get it back when everything was shut down
Yeah.
from COVID, and it was so hard to get your hands on one of these during launch time during the holidays, and
Took you a little while to get yours, didn't it? Still,
it,
like 9 months.
no. No, I don't. It was a couple of months. Like
Oh, okay.
I actually managed to get mine relatively fast because between my mother and my friend Courtney, they really took it upon themselves to make it happen and bless them for doing it. I don't want the perception to be that, oh well, I don't care and I just traded it away like it was garbage, but I wanted to upgrade to the pro, so I traded the one I had in for the store credit to get the pro with.
Okay.
And it's like if I hadn't had that one, I wouldn't have had almost $300 in credit to get the pro with, and it would cost me 800 something instead of 540.
Right.
And I actually got that one used, but it was pre-owned, so it was a little bit cheaper. But
Right.
pre-owned is not always a bad thing.
Oh, 100%.
Like it's not always a
There's not a lot of things I'm hard pressed to buy new.
launch day. Launch day. When I was collecting movies, I there were some things like I went after them. Sale day,
Well,
shelf day, whatever you want
right.
to call it.
Right.
But with my video games, it's depended. Like an impromptu list of things that I went out for launch day would have been like Batman Arkham Knight,
Yeah.
God of War Ragnarok,
Ugh.
um,
That man's making me mad right now. I'm trying to download it on the Xbox. For some reason, it keeps getting stuck.
Spider-Man 2. I went out for launch day. I believe I went for this on launch day, Hogwarts Legacy,
Yeah.
and Control.
Yeah.
I went for on launch day, and that's strictly what I can remember. Now, maybe there were other instances where,
You were in that open line, if you will.
yeah, where I was in line day one, but I don't remember what they would have been.
Right. Fair.
I'd have to really do the research. Launch day, launch week. It's an interesting conundrum because technically I got Arkham City inside launch week, thanks to thanks to my father
Nice.
back when it was on the PS3.
Yeah.
Um, but so I wanted to upgrade to the Pro once the idea germinated.
Yeah.
Germinate. I couldn't unhave it.
Yeah.
I couldn't just be like, nah. So what about that?
Right.
And and you know how it is for me. You know how it is for me. When I almost you almost turn into a heroin addict or a car salesman trying to figure out how to get it done, how
How
to
can
get
you
that.
finagle that extra $200-300 and
Yeah,
make it work?
how can you make that up front not so nasty,
Right.
and how can you make it happen? And I went and I thought because I got the computer over there that I would just order one through Aaron's, or I could get from Aaron's. Well, I didn't realize that Aaron's does things at double market value,
Right.
and I'm not. Um, I am not really sure.
Charles Lake, huh?
I, I've forgotten where the broom is. I had to take a dad moment there. Fair enough.
Yes, you're right.
I don't think she. I'm not gonna go there
That's
because
fair.
I actually saw somebody get into an argument at Roadhouse one time because this drunk guy was making a bunch of jokes about basically a woman's only job with a broom was to ride it, and I'm just like, and he actually kept making that joke to the waitress, and the guy sitting next to me got all bent out of shape about it and like started yelling and screaming at the guy in the middle of Roadhouse until everybody was uncomfortable. And the manager came over and she's like, "What's the problem?" So this guy told her that, and she's like, "Well, sir, I appreciate your concern, but if there is a problem, I will deal with it. This is my staff. You don't need to."
intervene.
This is a family restaurant. There's no call to you to behave like this. Stop.
Right.
Quit talking. And anyway, um, what was I saying
Roadhouse.
before that? Um, so the idea germinated. You kind of turn into a heroin addict or a car salesman trying to figure out how to get it done. And Aaron's, I did not realize, does things at double market value, and I'm not paying $1,500 for something that should only cost $750.
Right.
I'm not doing it.
Wait, you are doing it.
I'm not doing it
I
twice.
was gonna say, hold on now.
So that makes me curious how much that computer actually costs at market because
Same thing.
I
It's like a
think
$700 computer. And I think after you get done paying all your stuff, you'll pay like 14
I think it was 600
for that.
for that.
You'll have to look again. The 600 was the if you paid it off in 120 days.
I don't, I, is that still
Because think about it.
double market value inside that 120 days then?
I think that is like 125% value. You know what I'm saying? Like I think they still mark it up because in technicality for 4 months you're making payments to them and it's under their warranty if it breaks or goes bad. So I think they still charge you a little bit in the 120 days, but it's a little better than the 2 year higher because your cheers, right?
Yeah,
25 a week, so it's 100 a month,
yeah,
1200 a year.
something like that. Yeah,
So if it's two
I think it
years,
was 45 a month.
oh, it's only 45. Okay,
Yeah.
that's better.
Well, and
Either way,
I'm not doing it twice
yeah, no, absolutely.
because
I did the same thing with my TV once. I got a TV once with it, and I was like, all right,
I know you were trying to explain it to me, but once I get excited, I kind of stop being able to process the number side of things. It's just like, all right, where do I sign? I get all I get blah 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 blah.
yeah,
Sign, wait a minute,
yeah.
what did I just
How
sign?
much?
And
3,000% interest. What?
it's part of the trouble I'm in anymore.
Yeah,
But so I had once the idea was there, I had to get the pro,
right.
and and being curious how sick the upscale system is. I couldn't ignore it anymore, and so I managed to work a few things out in my finances where I could trade in the PS5 and get this, and then I took it over to the so I went home, I grabbed my PS5, I took it out to the video store. I had Skylar take the SSD card out of it for me. Then I took it over to GameStop. I did the whole thing at GameStop. I also got the disk drive.
Right,
So then I took it back over to the video store and I let Skylar install the SSD card and install the disk drive.
right.
And I mean, bless his heart, he's always game to help out when he can and however he can, and I I've been very blessed with friendship and hopefully he says the same. And so I got home I got to sleep, but also drive back out to dinner and got family and bring everybody home. So I didn't get to spend the time last night really playing with it. So that's kind of part of today's today's agenda is to play with it, get everything reinstalled. But unfortunately, I lost all that game save data because I didn't think about it when I was in a scramble trying to get it
I'm assuming
home.
you had to format the new, or well, format not new, but the old H or SSD
No,
inside of it.
it's got all my
Everything that it had.
all the game data, like not necessarily. I don't know about the save data, but it's got all the. I don't have to reinstall everything that was on it,
Yeah.
which thankfully Hogwarts Legacy was on it, and I don't have to reinstall the game, so I can sit here and
Did it have to do an update for Legacy since it is on the Pro now?
I
Didn't notice if it did.
I didn't notice if it did.
Fair.
There were a few things when we booted it up last night that started updating because they were on there, like
Yeah.
Snake Eater picked up an update while we were sitting there, and something else. I think it was one of the other, maybe even Metal Gear Solid,
Yeah.
had to pick up an update while we were sitting there. And I wish that they would do something about the controls. Either that, or I need to just get used to the idea of doing things on the D-pad instead of trying to use
The
the
toggles.
toggles.
That's so hard though.
Yeah, it's 25 years worth of training yourself to use it on the stick rather than on the D-pad.
Yeah.
That just sounded kinky as hell.
That's
Woof. You know where my mind's at.
funny, actually. But nonetheless, yeah, 'cause I remember at the time trying to go between games, and certain ones had tried to start adapting to the whole toggle concept early on, and it was like, some were inverting the look and some weren't. So it's like you bounce back and forth from games, and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here?
I don't understand how people keep track of it when they Xbox and PlayStation are not that far away from each other in their control scheme,
Right.
but like
Same amount of buttons.
when you really branch out, and you're on 9 or 12 different control schemes across the balance of a week, let's say. I mean, how do you not get exhausted by trying to remember what you're playing on
I
and
assume
what your control scheme needs to be?
I assume everybody lays their games out the same then. If you're that determined.
They'd have to, but I mean, I looked at those at the Joy Cons for the Switch. Chris and I managed to work out an arrangement because he knows as well as I do that eventually I'd need a Switch so that I can play the Bayonetta games.
Had to.
And anyway, there's a short-winded way of saying that I now have a Switch, even though I have a somewhat of a boycott on Nintendo. And
I mean, Nintendo's not getting their money.
no, you are.
I
And
I upgraded to the OLED.
and then whenever I either manage to find the Bayonetta games for less than $40 a piece, or somebody's like, "Hey, man, you need a present, so here's."
I'm going to tell you right now, I would put a lot of money on the fact that you're not going to find those Bayonetta games for less than $40 because it seems like the people that are buying them are some of the few that even like keep their games in the case. Not that Switch games have any more or less of value in their case. It seems that like they're still going to charge you $50 for a Pokemon game case or not. Matter of fact, I left my I went and got Pokemon Legends ZA,
Yeah.
and they accidentally didn't put the game cartridge in the case, and it was a used copy. I paid $60. So when I went in the next day, they gave me a brand new sealed game in the case, and it was because there's no price difference. And I guarantee you, even if it wouldn't have had a case and it just would have been a loose cartridge, it still would have been $60.
Well, how much of it do you think is them basically trying to wipe your nose for the inconvenience to have to come back because they screwed up?
Right.
I mean, maybe not, but
I mean, you might be right because that's what threw me off. Like, I already had the case. You just had to give me the cartridge. I'm not too sure why they gave me a brand new one. And if they had a brand new one, why wasn't it out on the shelf for sale? That's what really threw me off after the ordeal. I was like, wait a second. So you have new copies? Do they only put them out after there's no new ones available or something? For used ones, I mean.
I don't know how it works over there. It just depends on who the guy behind the counter is and what he has to get through across the balance of a day.
Yeah,
Because just because something releases doesn't mean that they got off their hindquarters and went into the back room and grabbed the box and put it on the shelf
exactly.
and entered it into their computer system. Like a lot of people are just they're doing bare minimum. They're basically just trying to get through a day, and they're trying to do it without a whole lot of extra hassles.
I work with a couple of those.
But
Used to work with a lot of them.
especially when we were Pepsi, good God.
You ain't joking. Give somebody no incentive
well,
and see how that it can get.
we're
More
we're
discipline.
we're all we're all trying to make life happen with the finances available to us, but I I remember I remember Mike telling me and telling a bunch of other people that we worked with that he would have, and I was not the fast guy there
Right.
by any stretch, and there were guys out there who rocked it 5, 6 times faster than I did, and I remember Mike telling everybody that he'd have rather had 20 of me than 100 guys like Zane,
Yeah.
and that made a lot of people mad. They did not like hearing that, because just because you're faster doesn't mean anything,
Well, it's because when you're only faster 66% of the time, like what's it worth?
and your accuracy's in the toilet. You constantly got to go back and rebuild your orders.
Yeah. Like then what value does that even hold? That you can do that high of a number.
Well, I know he wasn't happy, and I know there were a lot of other guys who were irritated about it for a long time, but we've gone off track. Um, so we got the Switch, and
I'll say Bayonetta 1 and 2's up there at Retro Jake's. But they will help people make those behind the counter.
three is out on the shelf.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I didn't go through their Switch
it
games.
was the last time I was there. Let me say that.
There's a couple games I should have bought last time I was there. Put them back on the shelf.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna eat my words because I swore that I was never gonna pull a Gronk, and I was never ever ever going to buy games for one console and then change my mind and decide I was gonna invest in another one. But now that I have acquired a PlayStation 2 to play some of my games on, thanks, buddy. Um,
You just remember that the next time you're annoyed with me because I needed to change our deal.
well, also Skylar hooked me up as well. Appreciate him greatly with the cords and the controller. So I haven't
Did
plugged it.
he?
I haven't put it together at my house, but he had it working there at the video game store and had a disc working in it.
Did he spray it out with his air
Yeah,
air can for you?
yeah. He like tried to vacuum what he could and then spray out what he couldn't, and so I think that might have helped a lot. But other than the fact, like when you put a disc in, it wants to go back to the main menu for like a hair of a second. I think I can live with that. It's getting old.
Oh, you say
Not a lot you can expect out of the best-selling game console of all time,
that. Not 25 years later.
especially sitting outside for however long it has. But nonetheless, I think I'm going to end up acquiring my Dynasty Warriors collection and my Warriors games collection throughout the PlayStation 2 because all of the 360 titles aren't backwards compatible in the Series X. And so I just feel like I'm going to end up having all these titles on the PS2 anyway. Might as well just collect the whole thing that as far as I can on PS2. And obviously, switch it up after the next generations. I'm not entirely sure how many generations they released Dynasty Warriors games on. I probably need to do a little research to actually verify that. Because I played them as a kid, but I haven't played them a whole lot since. And while they did end up at like 9, I think they were at a pretty high number by the time I could play them years ago. So,
What is it for you? Because I know with the exception of like three console exclusives, for me, if I do anything with the Switch at all, it is basically just going to be for the sake of portability.
oh, 100%. That's why that was the whole reason I upgraded to the OLED because I was like, I'm not using it for the convenience of putting it on a dock and putting it on the TV and playing it. I'm buying this because I want to be able to sit here at bedtime in my bed and grind out some Pokemon or Mario, whatever the case may be. Which, by the way, I found out. So I own a Mario 3D All Stars, which comes
Sure.
with Sunshine Galaxy and 64. Apparently, that was not a long run of a game, so it's like a special edition. But these are words from Tim at work, so Tim, if you're wrong, I'm quoting you.
No,
Squirrel.
same time.
We don't say Tim. Tim.
Drew.
They call him Timmy because he turns. I butchered that one.
You want to try that again?
They call him Timmy because he turned her on. Get it?
Yeah.
Uh,
Hey.
Joke of the day, everybody. Poorly executed, but it was there.
We'll get there. We'll have something better in the next episode.
But no, so like last night, I bought Metro, the Redux edition. So that came with two games, but I mean it was $1.99.
Yeah.
And I mean we've said it before, and I'll say it again. You can't pass up a good deal, even if it's garbage.
When they put a glitter finish on it, you're willing to.
I'm half tempted to buy Saints Row. It's 3 and 4, but it's $2. Just to
I've got those. I've got those too. I've got the Saints Row the Third remaster and Saints Row 4 and Get Out of Hell.
yeah, that's what it comes with for
Uh,
$2.
there's some things you're willing to take a chance on just because they're so damn cheap.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, just sits in the catalog. It ain't taking up no space nowhere. So
If I was to get anything, I would end up getting the Batman Arkham collection, the BioShock collection, the Bayonetta games.
yeah,
Um, I don't know. There's not a lot on Switch that I.
you say that, but then you open the store and you're like, oh, well, that's on
I
here.
just don't. I don't know. Like if it was games I'm kind of going backwards to play that aren't necessarily big graphics games. Like Hogwarts Legacy, I don't think I could go back.
See, I've never
I couldn't go
experienced
back on.
right. I've never experienced it on a console, although I own it for both the PS5 and the Series X. Um,
You need to sort out your priorities.
can't pass up a good deal, Bubby. Probably still get more out of the PlayStation 5 version than what I paid for it. But nonetheless, yeah, I touched on that earlier. Was looking at the just the screenshots of the gameplay, and it is so fuzzy looking of a game. And I understand that, like, to put it on the Switch, you've had to dumb down the size of it, so something has to get cut, and quality is
Yeah.
the first thing to go, right? But man, it seems like it would be a hard play. Even that's why I wanted to compare Metro on that to the TV because I'm having a hard time telling, like I said, if it's the the fact that it's a remastered version of an old game and it's still an old game, even remastered, or if it's just because it's on the Switch and the Switch just can't be a Steam the Steam device, whatever you call those. I can't think of what the names are. What's that portable Steam Deck?
Oh,
No, the Steam Deck's the console thing, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, well, whatever the portable
Well, their new thing's going to be called the Steam Machine.
Steam machine.
Yeah,
I think Steam Deck's the thing I'm thinking of, the handheld one.
probably.
But they make all kinds of cool accessories for these Switch and the Switch 2, though. But I mean, the thing that gets me is like it's convenient. My buddy Tim, again, he brought his Switch 2 on lunch, and he set it up on the dash. He handed me a controller or a Joy-Con. I took a Joy-Con. We sat there and we played Mario Kart on lunch break. It's nice to be able to do that. Same thing at home. I'll take my Joy-Cons out of the monitor piece and set it somewhere. Put the kickstand out, and I'll just sit there with my controller.
It'd be nice to have something to play at work, to be able to work on Batman or to be able to work on Shock, but
I thought about taking it for my lunch breaks as well, just to That's what I was saying. I think I need a little carrying case like that one again because mine's big and it carries everything, the dock, all of it. So it's just too much. I I I don't know how I feel about the Switch 2. It is much larger of a screen. To say that it's any better of a screen, I don't know. We sat there and we had them kind of side by side, Tim's truck, and it just didn't seem like there was huge differences in what we were seeing in screen quality, but we also didn't like try to play a game and put it to the test side by side either.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a real determining factor. I know it puts out higher resolution out of the dock, but Joy-Cons are built a little differently. Instead of the slide style, they're magnetic. They just pop in. I thought that was a little different, which is probably a good thing because I noticed like when you're holding it, in your bed or whatever, if you're holding it based on the Joy Cons themselves, then not only are you putting this immense amount of pressure on the Joy Cons trying to slide up, but you're also kind of putting it on this like bend factor because you're trying to hold it while you play. You know what I mean? And keep enough pressure to hold it all the way up. So like, I think the slide setup was aired, and that's why they switched over to the magnet design. Which is pretty cool. You know, what is it about Nintendo? They just don't like have to be a part of the game. It took forever. They messed up really bad there. Um, as far as like Xbox and PlayStation, they dropped their consoles pretty shortly apart, right?
Yeah.
If not within the same
Within the
quarter of the
same
year.
month at
Yeah.
least.
So,
Real close because Xbox was having those same launch issues that PlayStation did on this most recent generation.
right. But meanwhile, Switch is out here like, no, we're, we're going to be about 2 years ahead of you guys. We're going to make sure we're dropping our Switch 2 well before you're even done with production of the current gen you're working on.
Bro, giant in the forest.
I don't know what that means.
That's Nintendo. They are the giant in
Oh,
the forest.
I know what that means.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Yeah, I love this game.
But see, if it looked like that on the Switch 2, I'd buy it.
It's not gonna look like that on Switch 2.
You don't think it could?
I
Well,
I don't I don't think it'd get close.
it's obviously not going to be that big, my guy. Jesus.
I'm not talking about how. Hey,
Acting
yeah. I
like you can't handle that or something.
I I'm kind of mad at you.
Why?
I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at myself, and you're the one that pointed this out to me in a way that I couldn't ignore it. So we're going to take this segue now before I forget to do it.
Okay,
Okay. Were you done
I think so.
with your
I don't
Nintendo?
even know where it was going.
We were just kind of
It
meander. We
was
were just like,
you were just
hey,
letting me ramble
we were on the carousel,
yeah.
just kind of, ooh, Nintendo, oh, Nintendo again, Nintendo, hey.
It went from PS2 to Nintendo. It just didn't end.
For a long time now, this is the world we're in. We're in a 1 hour photo. We're not even a 1 hour photo anymore. We're in 15-minute photo now.
Yeah.
15 minutes or less. We're in an era of 2 minute TikTok.
Yeah.
And if you can't do it inside of 2 minutes, you need to skip on down the road because ain't nobody got
Nobody's
time for
watching
that.
it.
Nobody's
Yeah.
watching it anymore.
Yeah.
And and so the entire world has a problem with instant gratification. We want it now.
I mean, that's addiction, isn't it?
That's
Part
car
of part
salesman
of what
or
gets it started and drives it.
car car salesman or heroin addict, which one?
Yeah.
And and I had, and I guess I've always been that way and I've always been that way because most of the time, whenever I wanted a thing, and I'm not saying that I was necessarily spoiled, but I grew up pretty well.
Right.
My mother, bless her heart, every Tuesday would go to the store and because she bought movies just like I did. And most of the time, she bought my movies for me.
Right.
And she's like, "All right, do you see anything you want?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, this came out, this came out, this came out. Heck, oh I didn't know that was out.
Right.
Angelina Jolie, I don't have this. Well, put it in the cart. We got to get home. Your mother, well, not my mother. I forget it. She'd be like, "We got to get home, so throw it in the cart." That's
Right.
the moral of the story. And just for a long time, I guess I've always had a problem with wanting a thing and getting it as soon as I wanted it, rather than forcing myself to spend a year saving money and then
Right.
so on so forth.
Right.
And so the other day when this idea landed inside my head like a gong bell just ringing over and over and over again,
You
I
mean like an anvil from Acme?
yeah,
Take you straight
the
through the
18
globe
the
to the
8
other side of the
the
world.
1812 overture was playing real hard, okay? And I couldn't ignore it. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at all the stuff I got. It's like, okay, I don't play all these games anymore. I could probably take them in for store trade credit.
Right.
Wow. And it's like, all right, well, what consoles could I theoretically get rid of and then easily recover sometime later just so I can get this done? And it's like I'm turning into a card. Well, what do we got to do to get this done?
Right.
And it's like, oh, I was prepared to go to errands again, and I was prepared to get rid of consoles. I spent a lot of time trying to recover, and games I spent a lot of money and time trying to recover. And it's like I have a problem with instant gratification,
Right.
like a real one. And I never had cause to think about it
Right.
before. Like, I guess I knew that it was a thing, and Skylar's probably pointed out to me just as many times. And
You were probably busy thinking about the next thing you were
yeah,
trying to get at the time.
it's just like, I'm not listening to anybody because I'm just like, all right, well, wait a minute, what comes out next week?
So you're telling me I can plug this memory card in the back of my Series X and then I can store all my XS games on it and play them directly off of it? Where can I get one of these things? How am I going to get one of these things? I could probably sell this game. I think I'll get at least $30 trade credit. It's a start. It'll get me there.
Yeah,
The wheels
struggle,
start spinning.
and they don't stop.
Yeah.
And you can't ignore it. You can't shut that thought off until you do something with it. Like you can't but pull the trigger, and because it's the only way to stop your mind from turning against you
Right.
and just drive, basically driving you to absolute madness. And I just I don't know how to I don't know how to shut it off half the time. I don't know how to distract myself long enough to get like it was a sign of grace and almost a miracle from God that it did not happen Monday when you and I were having a conversation about it. Like I was right.
I'm more surprised you didn't get it from Aaron's.
Once I really realized that they did a double market value markup on things,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. Yeah, 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 yeah.
He was all laptop.
Well, if I can get it paid inside the first 120 days, I'd be all right.
Yeah. Will you get paid in first round trade?
I'm gonna try because
Yeah.
I'm not interested in.
You can give it back at any time. It's just unfortunate because you're out whatever money you've put into it. So if you're
Yeah,
gonna do that, the sooner the better. You know what
yeah.
I mean? If you think that you would be able to live without a laptop for however long the foreseeable future took you to get one back at a fair market value, I guess to say. I did the same thing. I bought just like a 50-inch, 55-inch TV. This is back before smart was a thing. You know what I mean? That was the,
Back
but
when we had the dinosaur CRTs.
well, it wasn't a CRT because this was the first one that I ever had. It said it was, I think it was 60 hertz. And so it was like, that was the big deal at the time. This was before 4K or whatever and the true motion. So the 60 hertz was a big thing. And it took a while to get used to the way the screen looked because when you're not used to the smoothness of 60 hertz at the time, you're looking at it and it's like everything looks like a soap opera. It almost looks surreal on the screen and it
Yeah.
shouldn't be that way.
I actually like ever since they started pushing True Motion, like I've always wanted a TV that ran everything
Yeah,
True Motion just because I like the way it looks.
yeah. See, I don't think any TVs in our house run True Motion. They're 4K or whatever, but I don't think any of them's too special. Just basic bare bones 4K. Get the smart features so that way they can get online with it. Go from there. But I mean, I'll be honest. If Switch keeps dropping games for a couple dollars a set, I'll keep investing in them just for the sake of having variety while I'm out and about or whatever. You know what I mean? Or just if I want a first person shooter, I have the option to do a first person. I'm not buying one of those PS portals or those. I think Xbox's is the Rogue Ally.
I think I saw Skylar fussing around with one of those
They're wanting like
last night.
$500 for those things, and I can't. I didn't even buy my Xbox, buddy. Come on, I didn't have to buy my PS5, but here we
You
go.
didn't have to buy your PS2 either.
I know. Well, I didn't have to buy my PS5, but somebody had to have the brown.
I told you I did not want to back out on our deal, and you were like, no, no, do what you got to do because probably not going to be able to work it out anyway.
Well, I mean, I could just hear you like itching yourself through the phone, through the text message. I could hear well, I want to go back on our deal. Bro.
Every part of me is like raw, broken
Just tore the
out,
skin off all
just
your body.
just rashy as hell.
Nails are just skin caked under them, if you will.
Everybody has a problem. Everybody has an addiction. Just because it's not like hardcore drugs doesn't mean we don't have
Yeah.
our vices and our
I went to a recovery program that believed that it was for your hurts, habits, and hangups. It wasn't just for addiction because while that is things you can struggle with, you can struggle with, being addicted to porn or food or, um,
exercise or
yeah, or what codependency. Like they just believe anything was treatable, if you will. So
well, I watched my fiance and I we went to see the new Scream movie for our anniversary last week, and of course Courtney Cox has been in all of them, and unfortunately for her, she was addicted to plastic surgery at one point,
fair.
and after she unfortunately destroyed her face, she had to go back and recover and try to get a lot of that work undone. But I think the damage was already
Pretty well done.
pretty well done at that point. And she's 30 years older than she was when she was in Friends, but like before the end of she didn't look that bad at the end of Friends, but she just goes through this whole oh man, I'm afraid of getting old and aging gracefully period, and so she goes through all this plastic surgery and she starts looking like Joan Rivers,
Yeah.
and then it's like oh no, and then she tried to have all that work undone, and
I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah, and
Well,
just seeing her in Scream, I was like,
they can't all stay Betty White pretty all their life.
that's a shame. Let me tell bless Betty White, but at 99 years, so just short of her 100th birthday.
I
That
know.
is heartbreaking. Like
Crazy, isn't
2
it?
weeks away.
Yeah.
She almost made it. And everybody loves Betty White, but I'm not trying to bang 100-year-old Betty White.
Well, no, but I'm saying, like, did you ever see pictures of her in her, her
And
younger
like when
years?
she
Yeah,
was,
20s, 30s, and stuff like that.
um,
She served in the military at one point.
I don't think she looked bad, but there again,
It was just a different time,
it was
a
just
different
a
culture.
different time, a different look, a different culture about
The bit.
the look, and that is a lot of cups.
Just a couple.
You're gonna do dishes today too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, anyway, everybody.
we are gonna do our best to not run as long as we do.
Almost every other time.
The past few videos we've started running a little long again, only about 3 or 4 minutes, but still.
That's fair.
So we're
As
gonna,
long as it's not an hour and a half again.
you know, we,
Long-winded episode.
we got to stay away from those hour plus, unless we
Special
got
occasions.
special occasions, special guests.
Yeah.
You have any closers?
Um,
Well, neither do I. Chris is leaning towards Nintendo now, and eventually I've got to get Switch games so that I can play them, and I admire the portability of Nintendo, but whatever he calls us.
as long as you make me something too. No, thank you.
All those Chef Boyardee cans are in Lazy Susan.
Till next time.
We'll catch you later.